girl.
And I'm gonna try to stay on topic as much as possible because
Yeah. Let me know.
the
Let me
guy
know
is
what your timing look like.
yeah, we go in.
Okay. But yeah, so when it comes to, for me, and let me just say this peace to the audience. Let me say peace and love to you guys.
Peace
Greetings.
and love.
I just want to kind of introduce what we're doing. This is my good brother, partner, uh, Shantae Finley, brother
Peace.
Tay, and I am Dr. Gabriel Hernandez L. And we are here today to share and hopefully impart some information and some
And
knowledge that can be helpful. Yeah, it's something to say.
Dr. Gay,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
this is on Holistic University. I want to
Yep.
send someone the link.
Do you have it? You got it.
Well, I don't
Uh,
have it on my
oh,
phone.
let me send you that link to the actual one here.
No, no, no. I could pull up I could pull up the email on my phone and just copy and paste that.
Got it.
I,
Okay.
I could do like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to have it up too for myself. I forgot to go ahead and go on in and just have it ready. But yeah, so we were just for those who are coming in, we just were having a conversation, um, and a question came up regarding what did you call it? The three fires and the six directions,
The
right?
activating the six directions for the three fires.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just, saying that, I don't know that exercise.
Okay.
That's what I was
All right.
starting to say. And so, Montauk Chia's work is quite seminal. And he's done some great work. He's influenced a lot of thought, and he's introduced something that I love to a whole lot of people, millions of
Right.
people. That's Qigong. And one thing about his work is that, we do have to be careful if you're, what we consider a novice. If you're a novice, you don't have really a background in Qigong,
Right. Right.
you, or pranayama or any kind of really like breathing exercises, it can be a little dangerous to practice some of those things without proper understanding of how those things work. And because the book is kind of like a text, hear that?
Okay.
It's like a text. Sometimes the message can get lost, right? And so when you put esoteric information inside of a book for neophytes to come in and start reading it, they're going to start trying what they're reading and looking at the diagrams.
Yeah,
And if
that's
they don't
true.
have that cor- that corrective eye to be like, no,
Mhm.
you have to hold it like this, and then you have to turn your wrist and then hold your
Yeah,
tongue
yeah.
at the roof of the mouth. And
It's so funny. My nephew was over last night, and he's a boxer, right? He used to be a bodybuilder, and
Mhm.
we were just talking about. And he studied some because he's like, I want to go back and get my taekwondo, and I'm like, I'm not crapping on taekwondo. He wants to do MMA, but we were talking about kung fu, and I said it's a lot of physics and geometry in it, right? I said because if you throw a roundhouse kick the proper way, if you throw it incorrectly, like you can hurt yourself. Or if you throw a side kick incorrectly without knowing the direction of your opposite foot and where your toes should be pointing, you can actually hurt yourself in trying to mimic something that you see on TV or whatever. So no, I definitely understand what you're saying because people don't understand it's really a lot of the technique is what prevents injuries.
Yeah, that's right. Proper technique. Yeah.
Yeah, proper technique rather.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things is, and you're making a good point, is, and the reason why that keen eye is so important is because and this is just from my perspective anyway. I don't want to practice things wrong over and
Absolutely.
over, and then realize later, oh, I've been doing that wrong the whole time. Nah. And
Yeah.
the thing about these types of exercises is that um, you can hurt yourself. I know it's just breathing, but you can hurt yourself if you try to force it and you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
There's it's too many moving parts for you to try to grasp that from a book. So with that being said, if there's anything that Montauk Chia is teaching, that anyone is interested in learning, or myself, or anybody, uh, go seek out the teacher. Is
Yeah.
my kind of like what I wanted to say about all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Before I met you, I got two of his books, and I don't even think they're in, you can't even find them no more. Cosmic Healing and Astral Healing. And so I just, I would just study them for the understanding of just the five element theory. Cause back then when I was looking for books, it just wasn't a lot on it. Right. And just understanding the different
Mhm.
colors and why this corresponded in the liver and the kidney. And so for me, so when I met you and I started taking classes from you, I already had kind of a basic understanding. And then I remember then we got into the Iron Body Ninja and started getting into to the good stuff, man. And so, but it allowed me to like kind of grasp everything that you were teaching me a lot easier because I just had some kind of understanding. Because yeah, I never
Yeah.
like the stuff that I was reading, I didn't try, but I just had an understanding
Now,
because I was smart enough to
I,
say, yeah,
now, now I was just gonna
yeah,
say, for intellectual purposes, great reading. I mean, if you want to get some of the metaphysical concepts
hmm,
down, and
right,
have some
yeah,
understanding of
yeah,
some stuff, yeah, his books are great for that. I was
and
just
so
really speaking to,
yeah, because one of his things about the when you're the breath and when you're when you're breathing out, and there's an exercise that in kung fu class that Master Lee, will stand and he'll come and he'll hit you on your rib cage and he wants you to exhale a certain way. And so being able to understand how to take that hit and release it and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
when I started taking the kung fu classes, I remember some of the things I had actually read. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what this is for, so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah, I invited a few people, man. So hopefully they we get an audience in here.
Okay, you saw the email I sent you.
No, sir.
You did. So the email. Oh, you found it. You found it on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just took the link.
Not the link that I sent you, right?
Yeah.
Because the link that I sent you will bring them in here.
Oh, it'll bring them in here. Okay, my
Uh,
bad.
yeah.
Ah,
But I just sent you the second link, which is the link,
okay.
yeah, to watch. Yeah, I'm actually doing the same thing. I'm just posting it. Let's see here.
Are you posting on YouTube? I mean, on Instagram.
Yeah, on Facebook and Instagram. Uh-huh.
How do you post it on Instagram? Like, just put it
Um,
in your reel.
I'm about to go there next. Give me 1 second.
Hey, well,
I'll
just tag me in
probably,
it. Can you just tag me in it?
yeah, I'll do that.
All right, cool. That'll work.
Yeah, you're right. It's a little bit more challenging because you have to like create the whole like story. But I'm about to do it. Let's see, post that. Okay. Let me tag you in this here. You still on Facebook? I guess I'm
Yeah,
not. I can. You kind of incognito, right?
but the one that you've done the videos on, yeah, I'm on that, but I don't have on this phone. I don't have it's on my life for I have a dedicated phone
It's
to.
on the bat phone.
No, it's the Life Force Management phone. Like it,
Yeah.
yeah, it's dedicated just for that. Matter of fact, let me grab that if you want to do that. But yeah, put it on. I'm much more active on Instagram. All right.
Mm, okay.
Oh, there we go.
You got
Yeah,
some.
it popped right up. Yeah, it popped right up on Facebook. Okay, cool.
No, you're right. I'm for Instagram. I'm gonna have to just not do it because it's gonna cause me to have to do too much to try to
All right.
figure it out.
We'll be better prepared next time. It's all
But yeah,
good.
it's up on there.
It's Gucci,
Uh,
as they
yep.
say. We Gucci.
Let me see what we got here. So yeah, man, what what are the people talking about? Like I can't say that I've had my ear to the streets like I used to.
You
Know
know, man, I
exactly what come up.
yeah, let's before you go in, because we got six more pressure points to review. We've done six of the two episodes.
Yeah, we have done six.
Okay.
Yep,
All right. So um
and we got three on one channel and three on the other, but we got
right, we
six
got
total.
six. So
Yeah.
so I think one of the things, and Harvard did a study, and I'm bringing
Mm,
this up because I want to do so. We got three things coming down the pipeline for everybody. We have a 10-day self-care challenge as we go into the new year. We will and a matter of fact, Gabe, we can do a live for that. Go through the modules. So
mm,
it's a 10-day, just kind of getting you ready. We're just offering this to the community, free of charge, mindfulness, all the things just to get your mindset ready coming into the new year. So we're going to offer that starting December the 15th all the way up until Christmas, but it's about accountability and stuff like that. And then we also have a 21-day New Year meal plan challenge, meal plan and meal prep challenge. Now that and we have plant-based and regular as well. So that's something we'll offer simultaneously. And then in the new year, we're going to, and this is going to be a really great thing. It's a mindset reset workshop that we're going to do starting in January. And as a matter of fact, I have a detox workshop, detox for life. So I think one of the things in the street, and I was reading something from Harvard and trying to expel some of the myths of what detox does and what it doesn't do. Right.
mm.
So I think that one of the things, for what's on the street is you're not going to detox your way to, unless you have a specific thing that we're working on, right? You have, I don't know, right? You're trying to rejuvenate your liver or something like that. I think people think I'm a detox my way to in a week to undoing something I've been doing to myself for 10 years. And I think that would really be good for us to touch on as we
Okay.
go through this, because just juicing is great, but if you're cooking in the wrong pans, right? If you're if you're cleaning your bathtub with the wrong with the wrong chemicals, So detoxing is much broader than just um, juicing and drinking some great teas. Those things are great. I'm a big advocate of it, but it's deeper than that. So maybe you could touch on that. And like I said, um, I I'm putting together a workshop that we can
Mhm.
do that. And yeah, it's going to be pretty. We're going to go in, so it'll teach people just being very self-aware when you're actually detoxing your whole environment and what that looks like, for it to actually be really beneficial to you. So I think that'd be
Yeah.
good to touch on. And I'm gonna
No, I
mute
think
myself.
that's a excellent point to bring up, because detoxing. I think there is a lot of misconceptions regarding detoxing, detoxification, different things like that, because it has many different meanings. At the end of the day, there's many ways to detox. There's different types of detoxification. But what we're really discussing is, cleansing the body, um, hopefully cleansing the organs and the cells of the body, so that we can, you know, have the opportunity to reach the highest levels of optimal health, or at least, like, if you think about a cleanse. So you're 100% right with what you said. So, you've been doing whatever you've been doing for however long you've been doing it, 7-day cleanse or 3-day 1-day cleanse. It's not going to uh, completely change the game, if you will. Now, you may make, amazing shifts in your life by doing a 3-day cleanse. Right, your first one, you're gonna feel different. You're gonna experience things that you haven't experienced before. So those things, it's still going to be beneficial, but cleansing and detoxification should be looked at more as part of the lifestyle. Um, it should be something that's done uh, either seasonally, monthly. Some people fast weekly, um, and at least twice a year. I would say at the least. Spring and fall are great times to do cleansing rituals, cleansing detoxes, and different things. Um, and you spoke on the liver, and I think that's key. The liver is actually really key when it comes to detoxification,
Hmm.
because with Western medicine, they identify the liver as only having 500 functions, 500 metabolic functions, but Chinese medicine says 5,000. Chinese medicine also recognizes it as the governor of the body. Okay. Um, Now, the key component is that the liver actually produces a molecule um, that is considered the master molecule for detoxification. Meaning, if you actually could bottle this molecule, this is like this is better than, like, I have different detoxes. I offer different detoxes on my website and different things like that. But there's literally a molecule that out detoxifies everything else in the universe. And it can be found in certain foods, but three foods specifically, which I find very interesting. They all start with the letter A. Uh, I don't know if
Really?
there's, yeah, I don't know if there's a connection there. I just, in my mind, I always be like, man, I wonder if there's something to that. Um, and so the foods that we're talking about um, are asparagus,
Okay.
all right,
And,
avocado.
and, and where's this from again? I'm texting people, telling them Check us out.
Oh, where's what again? I'm sorry.
You said where did you get this, or you said you were saying the foods that start with the letter A? Where,
Yeah, so they contain a molecule, right? That is like the master. That is the master detoxific detoxification substance, like on the planet. Hold on one second. And so you have, I'm sorry, asparagus, you have avocado, and you have artichokes.
I eat
All right.
avocado probably 4 times a week. I mean, either
So
eating
these,
guacamole or avocado. Yeah.
so these are those three foods. If you keep them in the body
Hmm.
on a regular basis, will add more of this master molecule, uh, glutathione. Okay, and I actually carry a vegan version of the glutathione for those who are interested in detoxification. It's a simple way to do it, because some people don't have the discipline to do a 7 day juice fast, let alone 21 or 40 day, 30 day, anything, 90 day, 100 day. I've put people on 120 days of cleansing before. It's for the real serious business, but
Right.
most people aren't.
Nah, nah.
Look, I've brought it to other people, and they're like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Well,
Yeah, yeah. I remember when we did one, and then I was doing one, and you kind of even told me, because if you already got a healthy lifestyle, and I think I was like 21 days in, and I was kind of tweaking, You're like, man, you might need to go grab you a beer, go get some, because you was talking about sometimes your body can become out of balance, even if you're detoxing and you already are in a kind of a healthy state. So, yeah, everybody's needs are different, and as you were having me, create different detoxes and plans and stuff like that, and I would actually try the stuff that I would create and send it to you. I remember you brought me down off of one because yeah, I was pretty much I was out of there.
yeah, oh yeah, no, that's what it is." Let's see here. I was trying to pull up a slide for the family. Um, since we're kind of going down this detoxification rabbit hole,
Okay. All right.
I think I want to pull this slide up here. Let me see. Go back. Open that up.
You, because I think people are, and I'll let you pull up. I just think people, you know, people want to do the right thing, and it's a lot of information being thrown at them at one time. So I've even talked to people, and they're saying, "Well, I'm doing this," and they think that's all that they need, or I'm doing this,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "Hey, even if you don't even want to come to me, to assist you on your journey, at least let me just give you a couple of tools to understand, so no one is being a charlatan and just gouging you for money or gouging you for a certain product that you think is going to cleanse you, um and because a lot of times that's just not the case. And I like educating people, say, hey man, we'll just look out for this. you know
Mhm.
um Empowering people, I think, is always such a benefit, because people don't you don't know what you don't know, right?
Mhm.
So
I'm trying to find my zoom on this thing to get it a little bit bigger for the
dang,
screen.
brother, you had to start off with watermelon. I'm
Yeah,
just messing with you.
had to.
I know the benefits of watermelon.
Man, this is like, you know, I know some of the connotations attached to it, but it's like, man, I don't care what people say. Man, we grew our biggest watermelon this year. I was so proud, and it was a yellow meat. So like, that's one of my favorite foods. But I put this up here because although I'm not sure where my zoom is for this. Usually there's a little button at the bottom here. I can just click on it. But either way, um, yeah, watermelon is wonderful. This is something that I think is one of the easiest ways for people to start or be introduced into a detox, a cleanse, some type of a fast, if you will. So they can do. You start with just 1 to 3 days, and all you eat is organic seeded watermelon. And one day it's going to be good. It's going to cleanse you. It's going to, you know, it's going to have you urinating. It's going to have you defecating. It's got a lot of fiber, so it's going to, But the benefits of this are extremely, extremely awesome. So this is not like definitely not a toy. Like watermelon is serious business. Um, Break down some of the insights you have on watermelon for us. About to say,
Um, it it has L-arginine and nitric oxide. So for all of my fitness guys that go by the, I remember when it was a drink, NO Explode. Everybody was taking it as a pre-workout, and I'm like, watermelon has that. And and then the watermelon rime, it has citrulline,
that's
which is
right.
really powerful. And I'm just gonna,
Yeah, but
brothers, it's
all
really powerful.
everything you just named is powerful. All of
Yeah,
those.
and arginine, powerful. That's all I
Yes.
gotta. But as far as those are the three main things, and it's a cleanser as well. So I always tell people the irony of how we had to eat, 200 years ago, but we were eating the squashes and the watermelons and the cantaloupes and stuff like that. So it's funny how nature or the nectar was doing. It's like, yeah, yeah, you're having to put the most god awful parts of the pig in your body or whatever. Hey, not slighting my ancestors and what they had to do. So I don't want nobody to think that I don't love black people who ate pork. What I'm saying is we had to do certain things. But the fact that we were eating out of our garden and we were eating melons and we were eating fresh stuff that was grown, that helped us out a lot, because you had people still living to be 90, 95 years old, 100 years old, back then.
Yeah.
Despite the horrific conditions, despite all of that, the men were stronger,
Yeah.
the testosterone levels were higher. Why is that? So the what they were consuming had a lot to do with it, and there's other factors we don't have to go in now, but yeah, watermelon is great, man. It is I used to eat it during the summer. I eat it twice a day. Like yeah,
Yeah. I eat as much as possible. Just period.
yeah.
Just cause. Now I'm gonna kind of switch just a little bit. We kind of talked about the liver and detoxification. I'm just gonna share the screen here. Again, this I guess these particular pictures aren't able to be blown up in this particular. I don't know why that is, but either way, you guys can see what's there. So these are great foods to nourish the kidneys, according to traditional Chinese medicine. And if you take a look at them really close, you'll notice something about the color. And we know in Chinese medicine that all of the organs and organ systems, paired organ systems, have a color association with them. And so the color association with the kidneys is black and blue. And we see here we have, the only thing in here that's, I don't know if we could really say it's black per se, the seaweed, but some seaweeds are blackish, but kelp is green, but it's very dark. So it can appear black if you put a bunch of them together. Uh, but we got black sesame seeds, wild rice, which is absolutely amazing in my opinion. Uh, Black chia seeds, blackberries, seaweeds, and black beans. You know, so these are all really good, nourishing kidney foods. So even if you don't technically have issues with your kidneys, if you're a human being, you should be eating these foods, especially if you're a man, especially if you're a man that, you know, if you have a family, you need to have your energy right. Kidneys have to be nourished
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So this slide, these six simple foods, you know, these aren't expensive things. These are things that we can, you know, keep around on a regular basis.
Can-
Sesame seeds, chia seeds. You know, blackberry is probably the most expensive thing on this list here. Um,
Yeah. Can you touch on black beans? Because
mhm.
I know certain beans are hybrids, and
Mhm.
um, yeah, and I think I heard someone try to say that the black bean was a hybrid, but which I disagree with. But it
Yeah, definitely not. It's definitely not.
okay.
Uh, well, this, you know, I did this research years ago because I was a big, it was a big issue,
Hmm.
and as I did my research, I ended up coming to the conclusion. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't genetically modified black beans, but
Right.
black beans
In a
themselves
sense, yes.
are not genetically modified. They are a natural food that have been here longer than we have, probably. You know,
Got you. Yeah.
um, and in its cultivated form currently, it probably appears different than it did 100,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago in the wild. Um,
Right.
but the agricultural history of ancient America rivals the antiquity of the East when it comes to agriculture. Um, I don't want to get off
That's
topic, but
yeah.
they've been growing these beans for quite some time. So there's five main beans, and I think there's a sixth one. So let's see if I remember them. Your black bean, your red bean,
Hmm.
your white bean,
Cannellini. Yeah.
yep, or navy. They kind
Hmm.
of come from the same place, but slightly different. Um, what's the other one? I, I believe the adzuki bean,
Hmm.
and there's also the fifth one may come to me. I know the anasazi bean is also one, so that could be the fifth one, but I feel like there's a sixth. And then of course you have your green beans. Now outside of that, you know, you will find beans that are natural too, but there are a list of beans that if you're really interested, you can go do your research on Gregor Mendel and find out which modern beans were made by Gregor Mendel and maybe some of his predecessors.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but those
I know the name.
main foundational beans that everybody pretty much knows, and I think the pinto might be the other one. I think these are all original, just natural beans that have been
Right.
cultivated for thousands of years here.
Okay. Okay.
But yes, there are genetically modified. These days, luckily, we have legislation that basically uh, provides us with the opportunity to have things like that shown on the packaging. So, um, you know, so I'm thankful for that, that we can identify those types of things in our food
Right.
supply.
Right.
I'm gonna uh, I'm gonna pull up some different slides because I just don't like the
Good.
way those are so small like that. It's not really working for me. So I'm gonna close that one too. But yeah, So I dealt with the kidney again because the kidney in Chinese medicine, it's like the kidneys are this. They get the center of attention. They're like the center of attention. They're the life of the party. Um, 8 out of 10 clients, when we do our assessment, the kidneys always are like up there. Spleen and kidneys, liver, those three are typically like at the top of everybody's list. And so it's really important to really address the kidneys and the liver. They handle most of your like waste. They the liver is producing so many um, metabolites and you know enzymes and everything that you need for your body just to function and do what it does. Your kidneys are filtering everything out, giving you life. Um, so we have to take the time sometimes. We don't have to, but I would suggest that we take the time sometimes to like love on ourselves. Uh, like one thing I like about Qigong is like I think one of the reasons why I forget to schedule or try to schedule massages, just as a regular thing, is because
Hmm.
I do self massage at least once a day. And so oftentimes I'll be like man, I should probably get a massage, but then I'll forget because that next morning I'm over here, I'm doing my
Right.
I'm doing my stuff in the morning. So it's like I'm doing my whole body. We do our face, head, get
Right.
deep. I mean, it's a whole ritual.
Right.
And and so I think because of that, sometimes I forget to, because I want that same stuff too. Because I think the energy in the air right now for people in general is the whole idea of getting back into self care and self love and
Right.
making sure that you're right. Kind of like that whole thing when you're flying. They're like,
Hmm.
hey, put your mask on first, then take care of everybody else. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like you know you got to make sure you're good, and especially as I'm not actively doing massages and stuff like that anymore, and I didn't do massages for long anyway, although it was
Hmm.
more like shiatsu and tuina. I didn't do like you know uh, rub downs. I was
Hmm.
pressure point acupuncture, people that were hurt and had like physical maladies and issues, um,
Right.
helping them restructure and reform stuff. So you know, but for people who are doing that, your massage therapist and a lot of those different bodywork specialists, it's really rough on the body, and a lot of them um, aren't getting the care that they need. They're literally just giving all that they got to their
Yeah.
clients,
They
and
burn out. Yeah.
not getting it back, put back into them. So
Yeah. Yeah. You talked about the liver and kidney, and one of the things when the first thing I have someone do is the mobile facial scan, and with all of the different biomarkers, I always look at the liver and kidney first. And someone asked me, I said, because that's the battery, right? I got to give that attention first. And
mhm,
I said, because, even myself, um, when I'm, don't get proper sleep, even if even for my guys who exercise, if you don't get proper rest, you can, if you're going to the gym 5 days a week, man, and you're in there 2 hours, 2 hours in a day, and this, and you're not taking care of your kidneys, over strenuous activities, can cause harm to your kidneys, right? So people got to understand,
mhm,
like, your body naturally needs rest because the kidneys needs that because of the cortisol levels and the adrenal glands and stuff like that. So that's a hard lesson I had to understand, because when I was, working two consulting, jobs, and I was doing all this stuff, I wasn't, I was sleeping the 5 hours a day, and then it caught up with me. I gained weight. I was
Yeah.
man, yeah, because you will gain weight even if you're eating right. If your kidneys and your cortisol levels and adrenal glands. So it's extremely important. So, and with
Mm.
me, and we talked about that in episode one. Me having a fire sign personality, I require actually more rest, right? Going.
Mm.
Yeah, that's great, but I can tell the
Go
difference.
hard.
Yeah, I could tell the difference in the last 3 or 4 months, just me resting and just me kind of just letting life kind of flow versus me pressing up against it. And that's another thing that we can touch on, but just understanding the ebbs and flow of your own life and how your body responds, because we want to respond to the outside forces and not react to it. So yeah, no, good stuff. I don't want to we start going down these rabbit holes, man. So I try to stay on topic today.
No, no, it's all good. I think it's still good either way, because we got to touch on these things, and you never know by sharing, the personal experiences, people that are listening in and catch it later, you know,
Yeah.
um, they could benefit. So let me see here. I'm just trying to share the screen really quick. So
And if anybody watches this and you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area and you need some assistance, don't hesitate to
indeed,
reach out, and I'll put my contact information in here as well. All right, go
yeah.
in.
So I just wanted to share a little something on the Oregon time clock to give people some, I guess, a tool. Um, the way I was trained, we always want to give our clients tools to put in their toolbox. So when they go home, they actually have resources. They have notes. They have memories. They have exercises that we've already gone over. That now, when they get home, they got homework. And one of the things that that can really help people understand is how the body moves in a rhythm, and we call it the organ time clock. And excuse the fact that it's spelled twice, little typo, but it's all good. Um, this was also adopted maybe 20 years ago officially, um, by allopathic physicians
Hmm.
and
That's
the
true.
field of Western medicine. Um, and of course, the term used that we would recognize would be circadian rhythms. And this basically just speaks on uh, how the energy in the body shifts throughout the day, ebbs and flows from one organ to the next. So, so if you see here, we'll look at it for a second. Uh, so we're looking at from 11 to 1, and that's in the afternoon. Let me make sure I'm looking at this right because this kind of turned interesting. So that's 5. Yeah, this thing's turned kind of crazy for me. Liver. All right, we'll start down at liver. So I know we're in the morning time, and then we can work our way around.
Okay.
So liver, which
One to
is the
three.
wood, that's the wood element,
Mm-hmm.
uh, from 3 to 5 a.m.
Yeah, 3 to 5. Yeah.
Okay, and so this is the time of the day uh, that if you're if you have like a qigong, a tai chi, a yoga form, any of that type of stuff, your martial arts, your kung fu, um, this is the time you would optimally train. This is when the chi is the closest to the ground. You can gather more chi than at any other time of the day. Um, this is also the best time to meditate. I think some people might even call it the witching hour. So, on the whole extreme end of the spectrum, some people are scared of this time in the morning. Creatives love this time. This is when they make their best music, and and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
But in the martial arts world, this is the time that the masters wake up and get busy. Okay.
Okay.
And other thing too, if you know, so it goes 3 to 5 liver, and let me make sure I'm looking at this right. And then the lungs. So the lungs start at 5, and that's also a great time to uh, get started in your day, get everything going. Uh, so that's why. So in this time, okay. So notice this is 3 a.m. right when we're talking about liver.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things that a lot of people are doing at that time too is they're out partying and drinking. This is the
Or they
worst
returning
time.
home from partying and drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, or depending on which city they're in, they're still getting it in.
Right. Yeah, they
You know,
still getting it in. Yeah.
yeah. In Atlanta, they're still at it. New
Oh,
York,
okay.
they still getting busy. It's after parties. It don't stop. But 3 o'clock, because that's the strongest time of the liver.
Mhm.
Um, if you're an alcoholic, you're going to crave alcohol at that time.
Wow.
One, and then two, you're going to be doing the most damage to it at that same time. So this is very tricky thing. So when you do wake up at this time, it would be great to drink some dandelion tea, maybe some milk thistle tea. You know,
Absolutely. Those are my go-tos.
burdock.
I put, I saw your Dr. G tea mixture
Oh,
because we
oh
talked
yeah,
about it. We've been talking about, I'm like, man, we got to create something. So I saw that you finally did it. And
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but that's my thing, man.
yeah. They've been
You
selling too,
know,
man. I ain't even mad at them.
dandelion, I like throwing the nettle and the burdock,
Oh yeah,
and then I'll throw like a green tea with ginseng and honey, and
yeah,
yeah, I put people on that, man. And women, I'll put, and I have them with red raspberry, right? If they can find it with those to cleanse the
yeah.
liver and the kidney, man, and it works. It works. It works. So
Mhm.
we just gave y'all free game right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it. It's
But you
powerful
got to
stuff.
drink like and I say minimum 32 ounces,
Hmm. Yeah,
and you're
I'm
drinking your water, but minimum, when I do it, I do try to do 64 ounces. I try to do two. Yeah. So,
hmm.
but it flushes you. Like I normally see results, man. I feel energized within 3 days of doing
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing is serious. It'll have you going to the bathroom. Not necessarily like
Right. Right. Yeah. But yeah.
number two, but definitely number one. You going heavy.
Yeah. But then
Oh,
all of a sudden, man, it's just it's a clarity thing for me.
yeah.
Um, because you drink, and I drink coffee. But it's just when you just, yeah, yeah, that's free game because I put my that's probably the first thing I do is put you on some teas. I gotta drink this much tea. Yep.
Mm. So
I
here's
put,
here's a few interesting things about this. You were about to say something about some tea. I'm sorry. That's my
no, I
bad.
said I'll put people on teas before I let them juice or anything. I'll put people on teas first.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. So although we didn't go all the way through it, this chart, I mean, it's up here. You guys can screenshot it and look it over. And in fact, by taking that screenshot, you're actually like, I don't even know if I should be showing you guys some of this information because this was originally from one of my Qigong presentations. And you can see here, according to Juklong Gitong Long Pai, which is uh, my Kung Fu system, my main system that I train, Shim Kyun's theory and concepts are based upon a human being's internal organs, the 14 meridians and 36 main pressure points. As I mentioned in our last video earlier, Tate, we are called acupuncture boxing affectionately.
Right.
And this is why, because we use the same information that TCM uses. We're aware of these points and we know how to use them. However, we use them in a different way than what we're talking about, um, which is why some of this information is, I don't mind showing it because the viewing audience would literally have to go and study, serious study, to figure this out and how to use this to actually harm someone, and then actually be trained by someone who is
Yeah. Well,
trained
it goes
enough.
to what you were saying previously about Mantak Chia, right? That's his, the things that we were talking about. That's his methodology, and this is ours, right? So,
That's right. So if you had
yeah,
a certain level of kung fu experience, you might be able to read this and be like, oh, you might be able to figure something
yeah,
out. But the average person is going to read this and be like, what?
right. And
So
I'm looking at it because I'm still thinking about how many times you made me draw the eye and the pupil, and
yeah,
then write everything and take it like a. I still have my homework, man. Look,
yeah, yeah, that's right. Hey,
look, look. I I still have my homework of you making me draw the iris and all of the things that impacts, and from
yeah,
one to, yeah,
because
yeah,
how else can you burn it in?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
That's
when I see a
that's what.
circle, I see an eye. In in everything in my whole life, I'm like I'm traumatized by. And then when the technology started coming out, and I'm like, hey, do you know they got an iridology? You're like, oh yeah, 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 those been out. I'm like, hey, you made me draw these because I think you made me draw. Was it? Maybe the
Those are my,
same thing. I think
yeah,
like 20 times or 30 times,
yeah,
right? But it stuck with me. Yeah, it definitely
yeah. Like
stuck.
when I was doing it, we had to draw it over and over a few hundred times, and we had to do a certain amount of people,
Uh-huh.
um, especially with the Reiki. I mean, drawing those Japanese symbols, like you had to learn a little bit of calligraphy. I
Right.
doubt people are having their students do that these days. I'd be surprised. Please, somebody let me know if you're watching. And when you did your
Right.
Reiki classes, they had you write each symbol 100 times so that you can burn it in, so that anytime you put your hand out, you can put the symbol in the air or over somebody's body. Um,
I
but
was
yeah,
about to say, hey, you going in now?
I'm
That's
going to
that
read the
deep.
rest of this.
Okay, that's that deep knowledge you just said. The symbol when yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's that
oh yeah.
deep. That's that deep knowledge.
And it's interesting. You can use the symbols on the acupuncture points. So that's another thing. So if you know what you're doing, you don't need needles. Needles are, I mean, it's not necessary. But that's a
Yeah, I
different
had my
story for a
crystal.
different
I
time.
had my crystal, my infrared, working on my sister's knee yesterday. But I
Yeah,
told her, I said, I need to do at least 5 to 10 sessions on you, for
yeah.
you to see results. But she's a runner, and so
Hmm.
she was having some pain. So my nephew and I, we were talking about, is it structural? Is it that your glutes and your hip may be not activated? A lot of the knee pain comes from um, or a weak IT band. It could be something
A few things. Yeah,
physical. But I said, hey, whatever it is, I'll start on you and stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and even stuff like that. A weak IT band. Now we need to look at the nutritional situation, and then we also have to look at, since she's a runner, like how much running is she doing? Is she doing too much? Are the shoes proper? Is she
Hmm.
running on concrete or grass? Or there's
Right,
all these different things that have to be kind of teased
right.
out, because all that stuff matters. But here it says, with Shim Kyun techniques
Hmm.
of Dai Hu Tao, it is believed that the blood flows around the body like waves of the ocean. In every span or period, there is a concentration point of blood which rolls into a certain section of the body. For instance, at Ju Shu, from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. So this is good information if you're somebody who's out drinking at a club, and somebody's
Hmm.
giving you some problems. The blood flow concentrates in the face near the center of the upper lip and under the nose. That's kind of I ain't gonna say
Yeah.
too. Uh, in,
Yeah, man. You don't want to be held accountable for.
yeah, in the 18 dim point Shim system, this point is called Zen Zong. Another example is at Hai Shu from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. The ocean of blood flow reaches at Yongchuan point, situated at the bottom of the feet. So this goes back to some of the kung fu movies you were watching. And the
Yeah.
brother, he had the one point and he hit him under his
Mhm.
feet, and he hit,
Mhm.
he hit him. He can move his point. Uh,
Right. Right. That's right.
so if you have that, if your vulnerable point is under your feet, it's going to be very hard to hit. And then again, you need somebody who's actually masterful enough and has this kind of knowledge and can execute it. Like it's not even like Denmark is so intricate and difficult, Shantae. Like, could you imagine if you went to the like you're about to go to an elevator to go up, a few flights of stairs, right?
Mhm.
Going up to a different floor. But before you press the elevator button, the elevator started dancing. So now you have to take your finger or your knuckle or your thumb, and now you have to, and it's moving real time, and it's moving around you.
Right.
It's not just doing this. It's like circling you,
Right.
and now imagine try to hit that button while with your finger while this thing is moving around and swinging at you. Let's say the elevator has arms and starts swinging and legs and starts
Right.
kicking.
Right. That's a great analogy.
And my job is to try to hit this point on try to hit this
Right.
button. I gotta hit this
Right.
button to break you down. You know, it's it, you know, yeah, it's powerful how this stuff really works. And I'm just, I'm thankful that I was able to um, garner some of this information. I'm still learning. I still feel like a baby after 20 plus years studying this kung fu system. I learned
Yeah.
so much yesterday. I was just like, I'm talking about so much to the point where like questions I've had for 20 years got answered yesterday.
Really. Is
Yeah.
anything that you can share that would be relative to if someone's watching this just for, hey, I want to eat healthier, I want to be better, I want to think better, I want to navigate stress better. Is anything that you learned that you could share that's applicable to, because people watching this is above people's heads, right?
Mhm.
People gonna look at this and like, what does that matter to me? You're
Mhm.
breaking down the liver and stuff like that. But the average person is like, okay, that's cool, but how do I make that work for my life right now? Um, and 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 plus people don't have the attention span that they had, 25, 30 years ago. Um, so I
Right.
think it's important that people understand that, what we're sharing with you is we're giving you the history and uh, the practicality and the application of this philosophy and how it actually translate to your overall well-being and
Mhm.
optimum living.
No, you're right. The so I got lost in what you were saying at the end there because I know you started with a
I know, man.
question.
I be trying to be so smooth with my 105 jazz. Be making fun of me at work, man. They like, dude, why you always sound like a easy listening jazz? And I come on my conference calls and stuff like that. But no, it's because people want to know that because sometimes I can just get very poetic with what I'm saying, but it's really like, hey, how does we've shared it in not in other episodes as well. It's like, okay, we talked about the liver and we talked about okay the teas and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um,
That's right.
I
How do
think what
how do they make it applicable? What is
how do you make it applicable? Like, look, it's better for you almost to go have basically it's better for you to go have a a Bellini or a margarita at brunch, right? Go rest, go hang out, get up later and enjoy your family. The things that was normal in society, people hang out late and drink. If you want to do it, hey man, meet up with your friends at 5 or 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
That's why they call it happy hour, right? Versus the late night stuff, because
Mhm.
your body will assimilate that alcohol differently at 5 to 6 in the evening versus you getting turned up
So
at
let's look.
12:30 to one
So let's
thirty.
look. So let's look at why. Right. So
All right.
man, that is a great point. Shall I tell you? Like, I'm gonna have to bring it back here real quick,
All
just
right,
for a
let's
second,
go.
because that was an excellent point. Let me see. Oh, I just have to do this.
Gabe, I'm grabbing some water. Go ahead,
Yeah.
but go ahead. I'm like
No, do you
5 seconds.
Yeah, so it just comes right back to the time clock here. And so if we kind of zoom in on the time clock, what we can see on the time clock is that if we go to 5, sorry about that. If we go to 5 p.m., we're at kidney time. Where's 5 p.m. at? Boom. So 5 p.m., kidney, water. All right. I don't know if you caught that, Tay.
Yeah, kidney water, five.
Yes.
Yeah,
5 p.m. we're at kidney time. So that means if you are having you know, nice little adult beverage
yeah.
around that time of the day,
My,
you're
my boy, my boy Tori, my boy Tori, he call it adult soda water. You have an adult soda water.
there you go. That's right. This is basically your kidneys are at its peak function
Yep.
during that time. And so you're going to be able to metabolize it, remove it from the body quickly, you know. Uh, it's just the best. It just happens to be the best time of the day to do it.
Right. Right. I've only been intoxicated maybe 3, maybe 4 times, and
Mm,
it's always at late at night. I'm celebrating something, man, and I can't, I can't, and I'm a lightweight, right?
mm,
2 or 3 margaritas and I'm done,
yeah.
or 2 or 3 glasses of wine, I'm done. I'm done, right? But like you said, understanding the difference in drinking, from 11 to 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning versus just having a light cocktail. You're having a business meeting or hanging out with your girlfriends and having a couple of cocktails at between 5 and 7 versus, yeah,
And it's also, a thing where staying and I'm gonna come back to the original question, moderation, right?
right,
Because if we don't have the moderation, then we're not necessarily, following the rules, if you will,
right,
because overdoing anything at some point, I'm sure there's some exceptions to that rule,
right,
but especially when it comes to drinking, etc., it's not something you want to overdo. I mean, alcohol has its place, and I think in my personal opinion, is that its primary place is as a medicine. Um,
hmm,
that's my position on it, um, and so that if you use it sparingly, you can get benefit from it.
yep,
But overindulging causes issues and problems and side effects, etc. So, that's just my stance on it. I don't want to get on a soapbox about drinking. I just, I recognize the benefits as well as, some of the
right.
negative sides of it. And I also threw up this medical disclaimer. I'm not going to read it. It's up on the screen so that, people know that this is not any kind of medical advice. We're not here for that. This is just for educational purposes only, right? We just do that to take care of the legal department.
Yeah, yeah. Tay didn't tell you to do nothing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, be happy. Don't
Hold on,
worry.
that's that's really it.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of power in that sentence. You know,
right.
our good brother Bobby McFerrin.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, be happy, man. That's
It's
it right there.
and people would tell you if you say that it's easier said than done. But is it?
Nah, it's not.
Because you choose whether you're going to worry or not. Worry is
Right.
not something that you do automatically. Worry is an action.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
You're right because I mean, stress and problems are going to be there. Your perception of right, it is like you hear people say, "Are you the you attack everything as being the observer or the participant, right?" And even if something's going on with you, you can always if you're standing up, you have to almost. And I was talking to someone the other day. Um, Perception reframing, right? It's almost like you're standing above whatever issue that you're observing, and you're actually observing yourself participating in it, right?
Mhm.
Versus participating in it and not being cognitive enough to actually be the observant, right? And so when you actually observe yourself, you're able to actually dictate how you want to be in that situation versus just being a participant, right? So uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Um. Man, I wish we had some people to ask some questions. So I guess it'll get to that point at some point. But
Yeah,
'cause I really like
yeah,
to open it up for people because that really allows me to share. Because it,
right,
you know,
right.
if it's
Uh,
just me, I might not
yeah,
be
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about.
I tell you what, man. What well, we could probably touch on this, um,
Mhm.
and I
Let me
know we
check the
kind
chat
of
in.
touched on it. So we're coming out of. So in 3 weeks it'll be winter, right? So um, I'm really big into. I told one of my clients the other day. I've said I'm not going to have you juicing as much in the wintertime because I want your body to be prepared for the colder weather. So I said, as we ramp up in spring, February,
Mhm.
March, I'll start bringing the juices and the smoothies and stuff like that. I said, not that you can't, go get a green juice, from your favorite, juice place or anything like that. But as far as
Mhm.
what I'm gonna have you doing, I do everything pretty much seasonal. I said now we're doing a lot of planning. You know, your journaling, your things like that. The wintertime is for planning and preparing for to grow something in the spring. And that's the way that I approach wellness,
Mhm.
right? The wintertime, you're going to spend time with family. You're going to splurge a little bit. You're going to whether it's your turkey or whether it's your whatever, but in that, I'm more working on the mental and the emotional part of someone's being during the wintertime because that's when you're supposed to be planning.
Mhm.
Um, and then the foods
Yeah.
is going to be geared around that. So maybe you could touch on that.
Yeah. No. That's for me at least. That's fundamental.
Right.
Especially with clients. Wintertime instead of juices, we will switch to like soups. You know,
Hmm.
more root vegetables, things that grow underground. Um, this
Yes.
is their time to
Yeah.
shine.
Yeah.
Um, like I find that the concepts surrounding like macrobiotic lifestyle
Hmm.
is probably the most detailed when it comes to seasonal eating.
Yeah.
Um, it's traditional Chinese medicine, but it's a cultural like nuance that was started in Japan, and so you know they kind of take certain things to the extreme in their diet.
Hmm.
However, for certain issues, certain maladies, health challenges. it is really good to help people come back to balance and you know find
Right.
health. I've seen people use macrobiotic diets to reverse a lot of serious illness. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it
I
has some
read a book.
great
Yeah, I
benefits.
read a book on macrobiotic diet long ago, man.
Mhm.
Like that was the
It,
first book.
it was
Yeah.
probably called the macrobiotic diet.
Yeah. It was
That's that's a
almost
really
like
good one.
a purple lavender book, colored book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. That was the first book I read, and that's the first time that was like 94. That was I read that book like 30 years ago, man.
Hmm.
And I was just on it. But yeah. I think it that's my approach, and I think that sometimes um, I always try to tell people, I know you want this, but it's a process that we have to go through because I want you to be able to do this for the rest of your life
Hmm.
instead of me just giving you some quick concoctions and blah 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 blah, and you feel great, and then it kind of goes back what we said earlier. Then you fall back into the same habits. The whole point of all this is to help you change those habits,
Yeah.
and over a period of time. So I think that's very vital because I think people. I don't want to speak for people, but what I've seen from just clients in the past, and as I've gotten better and got more knowledge and understanding, is that the hardest thing I think for people is actually, like you said, don't worry, be happy. It's like, yo, you actually deserve to look beautiful and be healthy and fit into the clothes that you want. Like a lot of people don't feel worthy of being healthy.
Yeah.
Um, it's almost an addictive behavior that the responsibility of being healthy people don't want. So it's easy to justify why I'm not instead of saying this is who I am and this is what I deserve. So I really have focused a lot on the mental aspect of wellness, and I think the qigong and some of the other things that you have taught me, and I've learned and from other resources as well, is that I just don't want to be someone to just tell people, hey, do this and give them some great results. I think my part in this whole uh, thing is, hey man, how do I help you stay on that path, and how do we undo some of the stuff, whether it was some outside forces or you have done to yourself over the years. Let's work
Mm.
on that. Um, and I think that's the biggest benefit or the biggest um, value that we have, because all these things that we're learning and we're talking about, whether it's martial arts or you know the organ clock, all these things is about putting you in your right space to make a better decision and to make a better choice.
Hmm.
uh, yeah, yeah,
And that
I
and
think.
that so that comes right back to the original question. So you know how is this applicable, right?
Right.
Because you just mentioned all that stuff. So like it's one thing I heard recently, a quote that I've been juggling around in my mind. There is no reality. There's only perspective, and that's been man, that's been juggling.
Yeah.
Okay, and so with all of this, it's like the perspective should be not that this is something foreign to me, but this is something that is useful. And if I, even if I, you don't have to like do what I did and dedicate years to study it. You can just listen to some of these podcasts or these videos with us, or maybe someone else, and that is giving this information, like the Chinese time clock. Now, if you were listening, you know that at between 5 and 7 p.m. that my kidneys are at their peak function. You know what? How can that benefit you? It may not benefit you today, but it's like a point, and so like a point A, and then somewhere along the line you're going to find point B. Like for instance, our point B that we discussed was happy hour. So now we know drinking at kidney time is much better than drinking at liver time. Now, you know, is this like mind blowing information? Maybe not. But if you like to have a drink and you like to be healthy, this can now be like, oh, okay. So now I
Right.
know I'm not even drinking nowhere near that other time.
Exactly.
I'm gonna keep it around here. And then, like you've shared with me before, you're sipping water the whole time. So if you're keeping that stuff flowing through in a way that is
Mhm.
less invasive. You know, I saw on Drink Champs a few months back. I don't know if you watched it at all, but
Mhm.
Game turned up a whole bottle, which he's done for years on stage, but a whole bottle of that, I forget what that stuff, Casamigo tequila,
Yeah.
the big blue bottle.
Yeah.
He took the whole thing to the head. I was just like, bro, like and I've seen people do that in person, and like I feel bad for them. I'm like, that person has a problem. That's a problem. Like,
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Your pee is orange. like, yeah, yeah.
so,
You know,
yeah,
but
go ahead.
it goes back to um and these are some of the things I'm excited about bringing to the audience is that when we're talking about traditional Chinese medicine, why would someone do that, right? So there's an emotional component to the five element theory to where if it's the liver, it deals with anger and the wood element and the color green. Like, so we'll start getting into that so people can understand how they interrelate. So why would someone turn up? What is it about that person that triggers them? And if we start breaking down the different personality types and stuff like that, how that gives us an indicator. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. All the last
Mm,
2 hours we've been on what the indicators that we as practitioners look for and why we're doing all these assessments because we're trying to understand, boom, there it is, that root cause
mhm.
analysis, right? And so TCM gives us indicators on how we can get to the core or the root of what's going on with you a lot quicker. So
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And we need those tools. That's what I was saying earlier. Having those tools for the toolbox is important. I try not to ever leave a session with a client without giving them something they can take with them and actually use. When they leave, best believe they're getting homework. And we're going to go over the homework ahead of time so they know what the protocol is. They know how to do it. We're going to do the exercises together. We're going to do the breathing together. We're going to know
yeah,
exactly how to do
yeah.
it. We'll even make a small video just so they can remember it. Let's videotape this so when you go home, you're going to practice this for 5 minutes every night before you go to bed.
Hey, side
Keep
note,
it
you know
real.
you can record all that and practice better, right?
I know now. I
Yeah, all
know
that
now.
stuff you just said because I do
Yep.
it. Just
Okay.
like and maybe you can go through the one of my clients, she's dealing with a stressful situation. Her mom is really sick. So I had her do the 36, breaths. So maybe that's something we can, we can leave people with today, tonight.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I try to do the same thing. But I'm putting everything. So what I do is I put everything into their protocol that I build for them. And so every time you make an update, and we can. This is a side note,
Mhm.
family. Just the software that we use for our clients, but you can actually any updates that you make, they get it in real time. They get an email. When they update their food journal or their mood journal or their lifestyle journal, things that you have them do, or any task, you get it in real time. So
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
yeah,
And that's another thing too, and it's kind of off topic, but I know a lot of us, in these modern times, and maybe it's an age thing as well, but we have to really begin to embrace these technologies, and not just embrace them, but like start to get comfortable with them, because I
Mhm.
find even on YouTube I'm still like fumbling on these little apps and stuff, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
get acclimated. I'm taking little classes in the background, trying to
right.
step my game up, because I don't want to get left behind out here while this stuff is moving
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
It's
We're in
fast.
the yeah, yeah.
And
We're
I
in
know
the work.
you're in that space, so you see what's going on. You're literally at the
Yeah,
precipice.
yeah, yeah. The it was so funny. I had to go to the bank today and deposit some money in my business account for Life Force
Mhm.
Management USA, and it was a new branch manager there, and she was asking me what I do, and she was asking, "So, what is your business?" And I said, "Well, I'm taking what I've learned in the tech space and the project management, solutions delivery space in corporate America,
Mhm.
and I've I've worked over the last 5 to 7 years on streamlining what we do from a holistic, wellness practitioner. And I've included, sophisticated technology and things to where our customer experience is effortless and is very efficient. So that's the value proposition that myself and Dr. Gabe have, is that we, with his knowledge and things he's taught me, but just, me coming from that space, I pretty much created a business model that says, hey, from point A to point B, from the moment that you have a conversation and you decide to um, use myself or Dr. Gabe, your experience is going to be very efficient. You're going to get the software, everything, not just the things that we use to do the assessments, just our communication with you is going to be so airtight that you will feel like you're getting the best experience possible, right? There's no, let me send you a Word document in 2 weeks of this and stuff that's typed, which is that's cool. I started out that way, right? When I was doing all of my iridology with my clients, I would, have to do it by hand and then meet with them and then email them their results. And I would type out, their meal plans, the food lists, and all that. But it took me probably 72 hours to get the results to a client. Literally, Dr. Gabe and myself, from the different modalities that we have to do our assessments, we can literally, get everything to you within 30 to 45 minutes.
Yep.
And we can build protocols and things like that. So that's the beauty of, like you said, keeping up with technology and me being in the space. And it's going to continue to get better. I'm always sending him stuff. Hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And that's what it's about, just constantly improving. And once we open up the Life Force Management Wellness Center, you guys will see just the level of things that are out there to really get you right. I'm excited because there's certain things that I want to use that we're going to present for brain and body health. And if you had traumas, whatever that is, we're going to have some really great tools to help you alleviate some of that. So that's what I'm most excited about. So yeah, man, we here.
Indeed, indeed. Brother, I ain't gonna hold the people too long. If y'all have any questions before we shut it down, feel free to put it in the chat. Hopefully I can see it. I think I can see it. I can see the people in the room, but
We got
I'm
people in
looking
the room.
yeah, I'm looking at the little super chat thing. If they have
I can't
questions,
see.
feel free to ask. This was like an open invitation. We just ended up chopping it up and having an open discussion. But if
Yeah,
you have any questions about health, um, hey, shoot them out. Otherwise, we'll close out and
yeah.
we
Let's
can.
stay. Let's stay. It's 7:05. It's 8:05. Yeah, let's stay up for 5 minutes. How many people we got on?
Well, it's been a few people coming in and out, back and
Okay.
forth. We got a few people in here right now, just kind of chilling. So I guess they're just checking out the information. But we definitely want to connect with the family, and again, if you got questions, we have answers, or at least we'll help you try to figure them out. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're here for it, man. This is and we're gonna keep going in. We're gonna keep going in and keep going in.
Now,
So
this was a good conversation. Definitely. if you're catching it late, go back and rewind it to the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
Drop some jewels. We left some tools for you guys that you can use, put in your back pocket. Take some screenshots. You know, study some of the um, visuals that we put up because that information is extremely valuable.
right.
As we like to say, know thyself. Um, and those are different ways that you can get deeper knowledge and understanding of how your body works, and how you can benefit from that knowledge specifically.
Right. And like I said, what we can do, either tomorrow or the next day,
Mhm.
let's get back on so we can give everyone the link, because we'll offer this one, the 10-day self-care, because we talked about self-care.
Okay.
We will offer that one at no cost. Now, the 21-day, Dr. Gabe and I work on a fee because that's a 21-day. And with Gabe's culinary experience, people having, wanting to know how to prepare, if they're having issues, whatever. So we need to kind of discuss that, but we'll offer that. And then, so we got 2 or 3 things that we're going to offer here in the starting next week. But the 10-day challenge, we're going to start it on the 15th. So we'll put the link in for everyone to tap in and join, and we can start going from there. And we'll go live, during that challenge to say, hey, how's everyone doing with day one? Because day one is rolling therapy, and I think day 2 is hydration, and day 3 is, sleep. And then it's going to have some pretty cool tools for you guys to use to assist you with that, and we can talk through that. So stay tuned, because we definitely want to offer you guys things that you can use, and just resources that you can use as well. And then when you start talking about, um, if you're, because I have my clients order stuff from Dr. Gabe, but if you're in the Atlanta area, definitely reach out. If you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, definitely reach out to myself. The whole United States, we got tools to where we don't have to be next to you. We can
The whole world.
we get you, yeah, the whole world, man. We can get an assessment, do a mobile. It's called transdermal optical imaging. It's great technology. If you have ever opened up your iPhone with your face, similar to technology, goes a little deeper. Fitbit, Apple Watch, but we'll be able to give you an assessment on your heart rate, stress levels,
Skin age.
nutrition, skin age. It's great. So yeah. So we got some things coming in. Maybe the next episode we'll talk about some of the modalities and how we can help people, and maybe we'll run something that people can get this information and get going.
Sure. Run a little special on one of the scans or something.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
But yeah, with that, family, I'm gonna say peace. It's been a wonderful evening. My brother has come on and shared some quality information. We did 2 shows tonight, so if you want to catch the other one and get the rest of the information, that one was on my namesake page. So you have to type in Dr. Gabriel Hernandez L,
You
and
want
that
to put that
should
in the
pop
chat?
up.
You want to put that in the chat?
Yep.
You know,
Let me see.
people can't even write cursive nowadays, man. So you think they're gonna
Let me make
spell
sure I
Dr.
do it
Gabriel
right.
Hernandez L? And yeah, and the
Oh,
great thing about
you got a great point. You got a great point.
and the great thing
Spell
about
it wrong, it'll still come up.
yeah, the great thing about the first episode that we did tonight is that it goes over our pedigree, right, and the lineage in which Dr. Gabe comes from, and my lineage, right, under there. So it's great for people to you want to feel comfortable about who you're, if you decide to do business with us, or seek out just education or whatever from us, um, just to let you know that you're in good hands. So
That's right.
that
That's
being
right.
said, I appreciate, and I'm always honored that the audience, even whether it's one person or 1,000 people, to listen to what we have to say, and to find value in it, and it's only going to get better and better.
That's right. Hey, with that, again, I thank you, Brother Shante. Honest to you,
Thank you, brother.
honest to the listeners, honest to the people who are able to gain any insight from this particular offering. And with that, I'm going to say peace.
Hey, Dr. Gabe, I'm gonna call you real quick. All right,
Okay.
peace.
Yep.
All right.